seems like every week in comedy, there's a couple of things happen, people getting cancelled and stuff. So basically, there's this comedian Adam Riley. I know him. He's a great guy, really funny comedian. He's he's a New York comedian. He doesn't have that psychopathic thirst for fame and glory that drives so many comedians, but actually probably makes him funnier. But he was performing at this place called the City Comedy Club on Friday night. And he's got this bit of material. He's taken it down, unfortunately. I'll show you, but it's hilarious. He says like, I'm woke. I know I'm a middle-aged white guy or whatever, but I'm woke. I believe that trans women are women, and apparently it got a cheer. I spoke to him. I got a cheer, and the people were like, "Woo!" And he's like, I believe transgender women are women because if they're not, then I had sex with two men in Thailand. And it's it's a great joke. It's efficient. Like he's the butt of the joke.
It's not simple.
It's not offensive because it's open ended. It's open ended. We can all see. I mean, we can all see that. It's a funny joke. It's a funny joke. It's not saying, oh, and you shouldn't have it. And you shouldn't blah blah blah. It's just say, if anything, it's an open minded joke because he's like saying, look, I had sex with these ladyboys or whatever. So. I think it's a fun joke. It's a good joke, and but he said when he did it, like got a laugh and stuff. But the people who whooped, he was moved on, and the people who whooped, he looked back when he was doing some more material, and they'd gone, and so he referenced the fact that the seats were empty by. He might have said, "I've upset the I don't know if we can say.
Oh, the word for transistor. We use in electrical engineering.
Yeah. Which, he didn't think they were transgender. And so he was just to break the tension that might be because these people had walked out. Turns out they were transgender. And they were on the way out, they shouted, you should be ashamed of yourself and stuff. But then when it is he, because born a female but transitioned to being a man, if we move on to the next one, literally shaking. Why are they always literally shaking? They're always
got
anyway.
Parkinson's or something, don't they?
So I'm absolutely appalled right now. I'm literally shaking after attending City Comedy Club in Shoreditch. I just had to sit through a transphobic joke by one of the stand-up comics. I got up to leave and the comic said the abbreviated version of transistors radios are leaving. Then I shouted, "You should be ashamed of yourself," as I left the building. "I am disgusted. I fully intend on seeing this through. Thankfully, I have my partner as a witness." And fair enough. It's as a slur, the transistor radio thing. It is a slur, and I can see it could be hurtful. But
I'm amazingly disappointed by people in the West who are like, I was called a name and I've lost my mind. It's
come on, it's not witchcraft. You're not we're not dealing with an actual wizard who, when you say this word, that it summons the devil or something. It's just a word. And but the comments on this thing, I don't know if we can go through the comments now. So a transphobe walks into a comedy club, appears on an all-white bill, surprises no one. Boring. It's like, what's all white got to do with it? Like, I don't even know if it was an all-white bill. Next one. Sorry to hear this. The other night I left the comedy show too after non-binary people were picked over and over again. I'm not a joke. I'm valid. Black. That's a black fist, I think. And he's white. They is white.
Sorry, I still don't buy non-binary. That's legitimate.
Yeah. And obviously everybody's like, I hope this was recorded. Did you report it to the police? This is hate crime. Oh my God, it gets...
I hate the West. Seriously.
It gets worse. It gets worse. So if we move on to the next one, the comedy club should vet their performers so this never happens again, because that's what we need, vetting of comedians and making sure nobody can say anything that could possibly hurt. Everybody
should start saying transistor instead.
Yeah. And move on to the next one. I'm shocked the comedian should not be allowed back in the comedy club and also be reported to the police. Next one.
For what? What is it? Who did he kill?
God, it's hate speech. Next one. It's hate speech and a crime. Like, oh God, look at the profile pictures.
State of the profile pictures, mate. Yeah.
Next one. You need to remove and ban Adam Riley forever. Follow him, by the way. He's a very funny guy, lovely guy, very funny comedian. Next one. Absolutely disgusting, blah blah blah. This needs to be dealt with seriously, and boy, the person needs to be boycotted from the industry. It's ridiculous. Over. I mean, the very worst. He's used quite a minor slur, and he.
I doubt he means it in a hurtful way either.
He didn't mean it in a hurtful way. He's not a bad guy. He's not a malicious guy. And the very worst is he should be. Just to explain to him, this is why this word is hurtful to us, and please, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't use it again. Like I used to use the word that is used in flame retardant up until I can't remember about 5 years ago or something. Then somebody came up to me after the gig and said, you use this word just so my son's got Down syndrome, and if everybody stops using it, he'll be a normal boy. And so I stopped using it, and hopefully one day he will.
He'll be able to join the US military.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, they have an IQ threshold. Seriously.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you're below that, they won't let you in. Like you can't.
Oh, I thought if you're above it, they wouldn't let you in.
Oh, I mean, there's that too. You have to go work somewhere else.
So yeah, next one. Unacceptable. I've sent a message to City Comedy Club. Never again should they be hired. Next one. The man is disgusting. Plus, he ugly as F. Probably sad and jealous. He'll never be an amazing, beautiful person like any of us! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! So yeah, why not body shame him? Why not comment on his appearance? Why not make some sort of discriminatory comment on his appearance? Because that's that wouldn't be bad. Although apparently,
But also, I find it funny that these people always have to find themselves as beautiful.
Yeah.
That's not how being beautiful works. Other people to find that.
Yeah, exactly. All these people like they do a lot of the fat ones, the body positive ones.
I'm beautiful in the round shape I am.
They're like, I'm so beautiful, and then everybody comments underneath like, oh, you go, girl, you are beautiful. You go, oh, you're so beautiful. It's like if you were actually beautiful and you said you're beautiful, everybody would be like, what on earth? The size of the head on her, Like you can't just. That's when you know.
But she's fat, so she's allowed.
Yeah, she's fat, so we'll all pretend, we'll all lie, because that's the woke thing to do. Next one, he's an ignorant. I'm going to make sure I leave him a message saying exactly that. So basically, this person unleashed thousands of her followers to direct genuine hatred, calls for violence and doxing against Adam. They were finding out where he worked and sharing that and giving the number for the place and stuff. So horrific stuff. So
But he did say transistor.
An offhand comment in the moment. And that's that's when words are violence. But when you're actually got thousands of people, you unleash thousands of people to threaten violence against someone. That's not violent. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Next one, we can probably rattle through these.
Oh look, the racial pride flag. Who saw that coming?
Hate crimes aren't comedy. Next one. I mean, hate crimes are comedy sometimes. Yeah, it's an attack of hatred and bigotry. It's unacceptable. They need to be banned from performing. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm glad we have good comedians like Russell Howard who deliberately use comedy to stand up for us. Yeah, I mean, he does that because he wants to be liked and popular, because it's very easy to do the sort of socially acceptable thing. But I mean, I think for a lot of people, the comedy happens when you stray outside the socially acceptable.
I can appreciate that Russell puts in a lot of work, but I did find myself just stopped watching his show a while back because I was just like, he's not really going edgy at any point ever. I don't know if that's just because it's on TV, but and it's great that I think he's a great guy, great comedian and stuff. But not everybody wants to watch that. I want to watch Jerry Sadowitz. I want to watch Doug Stanhope. I want to watch Louis C.K. and watch him get his penis out in the green room. That is what I like. Well, you were there. You paid special VIP tickets.
Yeah,
the green room
I was there
experience.
with a wig on and be like, "Come on, Louis, get it out." All right. Next,
the kind of
next
ladies
one.
Louis likes.
Look, more body shaming. Looks like he's been air fried. What does that even mean? Looks like a potato wedge. It doesn't. It looks like a human. Next one. Not funny. Oh wow, this is a good one. Not funny. City Comedy Club perhaps should be renamed City Comedy Club. Wow, wow, what
Really
a burn.
Thought of that one, lads.
Next one, we're gonna
watch
rattle
South Park
through
a
these.
lot last night.
Oh, and this is it. So then the comedians came out and started attacking him. So Harry Wright, who's genuinely terrible, he actually tried to. I think it was him. He accused on Twitter. He came out and accused me of lying about having dated a transgender woman. And then there's a bunch of them all sort of discussing discussing how I must have made it up to try.
What does he want? Pics?
Then the transgender woman that I dated just appeared from nowhere and was like, "I exist."
Should have gone to Harry and be like, "Sleep with me or you're a transphobe."
That shut them up. But yeah, he's one of these people. He's always trying to get people cancelled. Always, he doesn't realise it can happen to him. Because if we go to the next one, love this guy. He says Harry Wright was like, "Don't work with Adam Riley." Mooch, who is a comedian, also Vauxhall Comedy Club and Vauxhall Creative Network. Great guy, really supportive of grassroots comedy, and really supportive of the creative process, which means you sometimes transgress against the boundaries, and people might, when you're working out new material, you're sometimes gonna say stuff that people don't find acceptable. So he says, also don't work with people who instigate pylons. Harry Wright comedy. So. Nice one,
right thing to do.
It's great to see somebody in the comedy community actually sticking up for the principles and sticking up for just the basic conditions that we need to operate as comedians. Move on to the next one. So look at this. This was actually before this happened, but it just shows the sort of this is what woke people are. Look at the face, honestly, fat.
All right. We're not allowed to do too much of this because YouTube does get very sensitive.
Oh right,
about
sorry.
bullying.
Oh yeah.
But this isn't bullying. This is fine. But
I was just going to give a realistic description, but anyway,
that isn't permitted.
You can draw your own opinions. But my hot take is that jokes in general are overrated. Everyone should stop attempting to be funny. Learn empathy first. I'd rather live in a cautious, sensitive world than a funny one. And unfortunately, she is the comedy commissioner for the BBC. She's not really, but
I thought you were serious for a minute.
Yeah. But and I think if you, she's got an OnlyFans. She's got an OnlyFans. I'm not even joking. Got an OnlyFans. So if you want to see something interesting, then
go elsewhere.
sign up to her OnlyFans, or their OnlyFans, or Zero OnlyFans, or whatever it is. Next one. So City Comedy Club, who hosted this transphobic extravaganza, responded saying, "Here at City Comedy Club, we do not tolerate discrimination. We vet all of the comedians." Do you? They hosted, what's the guy? I can't remember the guy, but they hosted one of America's most outrageous and shocking comedians. So, I think they're saying this now. We vet all of the comedians and we did not expect the material used. If we knew, we would never have booked him. The comedian has been banned and we will be working with the authorities on this matter. The authorities!
They are calling the police. He has said words.
A comedy club working with the authorities. Shouldn't they be saying to the authorities, no.
Bugger off?
Yeah. This isn't comedy doesn't need to be policed, because when we perform, we're performing in front of an audience.
No, they have policed comedy.
If we say something that people that is genuinely socially unacceptable, people won't laugh. And I think people have to understand, if you're sitting in a something might offend you personally, but has it offended the majority of the room? We're in a democracy.
In my mind, the comedy police has to be the characters from Hello Hello. It has to be her flick of the Gestapo is in the corner in his little tights, saying something like, "I will allow this."
And then the next one, we've got, so comedians were even getting called out for having liked Adam's post. So, they were going through who had liked Adam's post and calling them out. And so Bobby Mayer had liked it, and they got in touch with him, and then he, it's sad to see Bobby bottling it like this, but he said he made a genuine mistake in liking the post while scrolling. Oh yeah, is that right?
My finger slipped.
Oh, my finger slipped. You know what I mean? It's come on, I love Bobby, but stand up to these people. They're bullies, they're dictators, and this is what it comes down to. The people who say you can't mock them, you think you can go up to Putin and make a joke about him?
You want to do it about Mohammed?
You can't. Yeah. Do you want to do it about? I'm not even going to say it. I don't want any more death threats. But you want to do it because if anything, some of these people suffer from an overabundance of peace, too much peace, and sometimes the peace is too peaceful. So,
of you.
But yeah, these people that that won't let you mock them, it's because they're in a position of power. And they've got the hubris and the attitude of a dictator. and they're so fragile. This is why, people like Putin, they're fragile. If people mocked them, they'd lose their power. This is why court jesters had such a powerful place in the court, because they could almost destroy. They could prick the pomposity. And court jesters were rewarded with huge rewards, but also they were sometimes executed or exiled because they said stuff to the wrong person.
I don't know if you know about Henry VIII's court jester. Like, he would always deliver bad news. Like, if there was any bad news, everyone was too afraid of him. So they'd make the jester do it. So he'd crack some terrible jokes. Right. And then just be like, oh, by the way, Francis won the war. And leave.
Yeah. So, I mean, these people that are that are saying that they're victims are actually the dictators. They're the people with the power. The people who don't have the power are people like Adam. He doesn't have the power to stop people, thousands of people attacking him, sending
mean words
messages, doxing him, calling him the worst things. There's some more comments. Move on to the next one. Who's this good-looking young man? It's a Scottish comedian. It's me. Said, I identify as a woman, and I found this joke hilarious. And because I do identify as a woman. And
some transphobe response.
Yeah, it's a transphobe responded saying, no, you identify as... Are we allowed to say prick?
No, I don't. Yeah, let's go for it. Why not?
Because I'm talking about, like when you if you prick your finger.
Yeah.
So
when you get Fauci's little...
Yeah. So somebody said, no, you identify as, like when you prick your finger. And if we move to the next one, I reported this for transphobia.
Good.
And they removed it.
That's amazing.
Instagram removed it because I'm a woman.
Are you kidding me?
And no, I'm not joking. I reported it for transphobia. Because I am a woman. I'm a woman. If anybody says I'm not, you're getting kicked off social media.
I'm fully in support of these actions. Some people dither about, is it the right thing to do? No. Look,
100%.
If they're going to put these systems in place, malicious compliance.
I didn't decide. I didn't make these rules. But like, if I'm allowed to identify as a woman, I'm going to identify as a woman. I identify as a woman
I accept you for who you are.
I'm gender fluid.
Liana.
I keep the same name. I don't even shave. It's all the same. I don't conform to heteronormative stereotypes of what femininity is. And if we move on to the next one, look at this. So somebody said, we should be allowed to make jokes. Comedy's subjective. Look at this person says, when the target of your jokes is a group of marginalized people, jokes like this inspire people to harm us and kill us. It's like, no. They don't.
Remember the last time you went to a comedy club and someone made a joke about black people and you just started making nooses? And you thought, what am I doing?
Like somebody does a transgender joke and you're like, and obviously, with this joke, if somebody did a joke that was genuinely like attacking transgender people wouldn't laugh because
It wouldn't be a joke by definition.
People are they're a lot more aware of transgender people and all the rest of it, and they're more visible in society now.
A call to violence literally can't be a joke because it's sincere. I mean, it could be an anti-joke maybe, but that doesn't make any sense. So.
Yeah, people wouldn't laugh at it, and I've seen this. When comedians do, step over like Roy Chubby Brown had a DVD in the '90s where he suddenly got weirdly racist in it, and you could see the atmosphere just dropping in the room as he got all kind of serious. It wasn't fun. It wasn't funny. People don't like it. So yeah, but I think this safetyism, even though obviously in this case Adam is the sort of victim of the violent threats and stuff, safetyism is the new thing that people can use to force, because your rights end, your right of free expression ends where my safety is compromised. That's traditionally been the sort of the balance. So if you can say, well, your words are inciting violence against me, then I can ban you from saying those words, even if it's a complete concoction. So I think it's dangerous. But yeah, instead of using the opportunity of being literally shaking to just masturbate, the next... So he has started a campaign called hashtag No Jokes on Us. Comedy is not an excuse for bigotry. End transphobia in comedy. Which is, they're saying, I better hurry up.
Treat us like Islam. We are not to be made fun of. We are never to be joked about. Yeah. And if you come for us,
we will destroy you.
We're going to be the transgender people of peace.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. So we'll see. I mean, this hashtag hasn't taken off, but we'll see. I mean, this is my comment on it. So you claim to be a marginalized victim, but you directed thousands of your followers to send messages of genuine hate and violence against one isolated person just for cracking a joke. You won't be happy until you've bullied him to suicide. You act like a dictator who must not be mocked. Do you really think you're generating less transphobia by acting like this? And what's interesting, I didn't have time to crunch the numbers, but they pull out all these things saying, incidents of transphobic violence are up 80%. I just don't believe it. I mean, I just don't believe it. There's certainly a lot less transphobia in society than there was. I'm not saying transgender people...
You could check out Rose of Dawn. So she's a transgender woman, she says, and she has done a lot of stuff on this, talking about the transgenocide and whatnot.
Yeah.
And she just has the numbers and she's like, it's bollocks.
Yeah.
7 times bollocks.
Yeah.
So.
And if it's bollocks, it can still be female. But, but yeah, I mean, it's true. It's like with Tell Mama that, reporting, they're like, after Boris Johnson made his letterbox comments or whatever, Islamophobic attacks went up 300% or whatever.
People tweet things about Islam.
We're talking; these are self-reported calls from a non-monitored organization that it's basically people phoning up and saying somebody called me a ninja or whatever. So it's not
verifiable.
It's not verifiable. It's not recorded in police statistics, or it's not corroborated by police statistics of actual violent attacks.
And it's not like Tell Mama don't have a agenda.
Exactly. These people have an agenda, and obviously in the week after, if somebody makes a big fuss and it says, "Oh, look, there's this thing where you can report calls," they're going to get more calls the next week. It doesn't mean there's been an increase in the number of people being, called a ninja. And obviously any sort of Islamophobia or transphobia or whatever,
anti-Muslim bigotry
is bad. Anti-Muslim bigotry is bad, but it's. I don't think we should assume that the way it's painted is we're getting worse, and we're definitely not. We're definitely not getting worse. We might get worse if people keep acting like this, because this doesn't particularly endear, most people to the cause.
Stay in the West.
Yeah.
It sends up in the East as examples of look at the state of the West.
Yeah.
Wrong. If you appreciate that segment from the podcast, The Lotuses, you can go over to lotuses.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as this series, which is Epochs, of course. As you can see, this is a special guest, Count Dankula, to do a special thing on historical mad lads with bow. And if you want to follow more stuff from Lotuses, of course, you can go over to Getter and follow us at lotuseaters_com. Thank you and goodbye.